Hello everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a video on an add-on to a strategy that I've already talked about, and this is over my most popular method, which I believe it's the most popular of my method that will probably bring the best results, and that's doing the 9, 90, 95 with the EMAs at the top of the charts, and in your EMA difference you have 9 and 20. And the point of this strategy is I've talked about how to find the signal on the hour, and the point of this video is what do you do if when you're looking for the signal on the hour and you miss that point of when it crosses. So you might say, hey, just do a smaller time frame, but I do not like doing smaller time frames because the smaller time frames don't give you overall what's happening. So I'm going to show you how to set it up and how to find the moments on the hour, after a cross, and how to kind of find the moments to actually get in for your trades, and kind of come in on the hour for quick little scalps. And it works out really well. I'll look at a couple assets, and I'll show you how to scalp it on the hour. This is after it has crossed and you have identified the direction. Okay, so once I explain this, it'll be a little bit more clearer here. But this strategy is based off of doing the 9, 90, 95. That's the top part here with your lines. And you'll notice you could either get Ghost Marker Pro and you can have less clutter, or you can get your CM EMA trim bars and you can put it in with 9, 90, and 95. And what this will do is it'll be color coded. So whatever the direction of market is going, it'll print red for bullish, green for red for bearish, green for bullish. And then your EMA difference here, set for 9 and 20. So the whole goal, the original goal with this strategy is you wait for there to be a cross, which is right here. So you basically, the easiest way to do this is to hide, the easiest way to do it is to hide the candles and just observe what the lines are doing all day. It's the easiest way to do it is just to hide the candles, and you'll know when it's crossing at that point. You can find all the moments because I do this on the hour. So crossing moments, which is basically the moments to get in the trade. You got your moment right here. Your moment right here. This is kind of crossing here, right here, and right here. So I'm going to use a couple examples. I'll probably look at some other assets too. But let's look at Bitcoin here real quick. Let's look at this moment right here. And we see that Bitcoin crossed right here. So I'm going to draw a line right quick. So when it crossed at this point, does it ever come back to this line? Right now, has it ever come back to this line when it crossed? So far right now, it has not yet come back to this line, which means any point of when it crossed, you're in profit. But what happens if you miss the cross, or you want to scalp it? You just want to come in and out. You didn't want to hold it for as long as this was. You want to come in just for maybe an hour or two, and you want to find those good moments. This is where the EMA difference comes in handy here. So we can see that it has not crossed and it has not returned back to this point from the moment of crossing. So everything from this point on has been gains. But what if you already sold your position and you want to come back in? You want to come back in for a trade, but it's not crossing. This is when somebody would say just do a smaller time frame, but I don't do smaller time frames because you just get more nervous and you're looking at the charts more. So what I focus on is if I want to do this on the hour, I have to identify the trend. I have to identify that we're still in a long, it's still going up pretty much. You have to identify that it's still going up. So what you want to look for, you want to look at your EMA difference here. If you want to scalp the market. So basically, when it crosses here, as long as it's light green, you're good. So when it turns dark green, that is it it's getting weaker. It's, a lot of struggle with it. So what you want to do when you want to get back in is you wait for all the moments where it turns dark. You wait for all the moments where it turns light green again with the EMA difference. This is the 9 and the 20. So you'll find and you'll get in for quick little scalps. Now this only works when it's kind of a long trade between the first cross and when it crosses again. So this only works during the first cross and the last cross because you're basically just scalping it on the longer time frames and looking for all the key moments of when it might. You might get in for maybe an hour or two. You can get in and out. So let's just see if this works. This will not work if it's a small, if it's small. The crossings are small, but if it's a big run, then it's going to work really well. But let's see if this works here. Let's say you got in on this cross and you got in right here, and if we look at the chart, we see that it has not returned to this point, at least not yet. So let's say you got in right here, got in when it crosses, and you exited right up here where it starts turning dark green again. So you got out of here. So this was a good trade. So as long as it's going dark green, now if you're doing this in the bearish scenario, and we'll look at a bearish scenario, but the bearish scenario is basically the opposite, but I'll get to that. I want to try to find one for that too. But basically, if you want to do this on the hour, and you'll get better results, you focus when it turns light green again. Or if you're doing the bearish, you have to focus when it's turning light red. So right here we see it turn light green again. So you can come in for a quick little scalp here. That's a little one right there where it turns light green. And the trend, we can identify the trend is still going up. So it is a lot of dark green right here. So these are not good moments to get in. But we see it start turning light green again right here. So we can get in right there. Little scalp right about here. And you can ride this one out for a couple hours, and you would make profit there. And then we also see it happen. Here's a 2-hour one right there, and it goes dark green, and then you come in right here, and then you can ride that one out for a couple hours, and that's a good scalp right there. So that it works really well, and you could be in profit. You don't have to hold it from cross to cross. You could just focus on little scalps. If this is a big run. Now, I want to look at a couple assets, and I want to also show you how to do this when it's going down. And this will help too. So when it's going down, it's the same thing. Let's see, just hide the candles here to see it. Okay, so we see that it crosses down right here. And then it remains down until... I don't think I'm not going to count that until right about here. So if you drew a line right here, you want to ask yourself, does it ever return back to that line? Has it ever returned back to this point? When it crossed right here, has it ever returned back to this point? So you'd be in profit even now. Even with it going up, you'd still be in profit. So you probably won't have as much, but you'd still be in profit because it has not come back to this number. So that's why I like the 990.95 so much. You can really find all the good trades. So in this moment, we've identified that the trend that the trend is going down. The trend has been going down from this point. So what do you want to do? What do you want to do in this scenario while it's going down? You want to find all the moments when it turns light red. So let's say you miss it right here. You ride this out. You don't get in here. Okay, so here's some moments right here. We see light red right here. We can get in right about here. Can ride that down for an hour or two. Get some profit there. Get some profit here. Some little small scalps. And we're still in a downtrend, so there's some profit right here. So there's profit right there. So that's basically how you do it. That's Bitcoin. We saw it with an uptrend and downtrend. Let's look at it with the S&P 500. Let's see if this works with the S&P 500. So it has crossed right here so far. And you can come in right here and ride this whole thing out. It has not yet put us in a situation where we can get back in. It's crossed right here. There's just a little moment right here. I wouldn't personally have taken that one. So you want to wait for a big moment. So we see it crossing right about here. So we're in a downtrend at this point, so you want to come in all the moments when it's red. So there's one right here. You can scalp that one. That's $443 right there. You can scalp this one. This one is $631. And then you got this one right here. There's $700. So you can scalp. It has to be a big move. It's not really going to catch with the S&P 500 and doing contracts. You want to make sure it's a big move because you are on a contract with days. It crosses up right here. And then you can get it in right here. Right about here. Just can scalp that one. That's about $300. You can scalp this one, which is about $700. There's a small one right here. These 3 bars, these are very brief. Personally wouldn't have done this one, but this one's not even $1. And then you have this one right here. This one is $322. So you've identified that the trend is still going up, and you just come in all the moments where it's going back up. So if it's an uptrend, you want to focus on all the light green. If it's a downtrend, you want to focus on all the light red. So let's real quickly, I want to look at the US 30 with this, and we're going to see if this... Okay, so this is probably where you could have made a lot from the US 30. I can see it right off the bat right here. The US 30 crossed way over here for an uptrend, so you want to focus on all the moments where it turns light green. So you got your moment right here when it crosses. So you came in here, exited about here. You'd be in profit. It's at a 0.01. This is $388. And then it turns light green here. We are still in an uptrend. So you came in for maybe an hour or two. You would come in right here. This is about $222 for 0.01. Come in right about here for 1 or 2 hours. This is about 84 bucks. Come in right there. This is about $75. And this is the only thing that this strategy is not going to work is when the market's going sideways. Other than that, you just find all the moments. Now, like at crosses right here, there's not any moments other than from here to here is your moment. There isn't any other moments to get in that trade right there. So you could have come in right here when it crosses and ride that out. Or you can come in from here to here. This is $116. And this is where it's kind of going sideways. So I'm going to real quickly, I'm going to look at a downtrend, and then I think you guys get the general idea. Crosses right here, so this is you won't be able to pick up any other ones after this. You just get out right before it turns dark red. You see another bullish moment. It crosses right here, so you get in here. If you miss this, this would have been massive if you rode it from here all the way up here to the top. This would have been 500. This would have been, yeah, 600 bucks right there. But if not, you can ride it on those little quick moments like right here, here to here. You made, what is that, $299. I want to try and find a downtrend real quick. Here's a good downtrend. It's not really crossing there. So yeah, I'm not going to count that one. It's not really crossing until it crosses at this point. So real quickly, if you miss this cross and if you came in right here, let me draw a line. Does it ever return back to this line when it crosses? Has it ever returned back to this line? So after it has crossed, this entire area is profit if you did a sell. This entire area is profit, which is about $130 and more because it keeps going down. But if you miss it, you focus on all the moments. We have identified that as a downtrend. So you want to come back in when it turns light green with the 9 and the 20. So there's this moment right here, here to here. That's $391 with a 0.01. And then there's this moment right here. This is 348. So that's about it with this strategy. It is very, in my opinion, this is very effective. But, you still, what you have to do in this strategy, the first step is you have to have your 9, 90, and 95, and it helps to have it with CM EMA trend bars, and then you have to have your EMA difference be 9 and 20. And once you do that, you wait for the asset to cross. I do this on the hour, and then if you miss the cross, you just want to find all the moments where, if it's bullish, you want to focus on all the light green, and if it's bearish, you want to focus on all the moments where it's light red. So that's how you find your trades. Now, real quickly, I want to explain. I'm going to go back to Bitcoin here. And I want to explain how this strategy can help identify the moments when everything is going bullish. So real quickly, like for Bitcoin, and this really applies for Bitcoin, but if this crosses on the weekly, like look what happened right here. This is where you would probably make a lot of money, and I'm gonna leave it at this. If you focus on something like the weekly or the 6 hour, and maybe I'll look at both real quickly on Bitcoin. But you see where Bitcoin crosses right here? If you rode this entire thing out, because it's light green, it doesn't turn dark green until right here. So if you rode out from here to here for the last 77 days, you would have been in some major profit. And then you focus on it becoming light green again. Now, if you're doing this strategy and you're following the same strategy, the same strategy will work for the hour that will for the weekly. The difference is you're going to have to wait longer if you do it on the weekly. So if you focus on all the moments, like right here, light green, if you rode this out, this will lead to some massive profits too. So what's happening right here is Bitcoin's getting weaker. Bitcoin's getting weaker, and if this ends up crossing, we're going to be in a bearish moment, and you're going to be focusing on all the moments where it's light red. So that is how, and once everything starts picking up, the parabolic run, if you look this on the weekly, or if you look at this on like a 6 hour, you'll be easily able to tell when to get in and out, what the overall direction is doing, and when to get in. So, for example here, it's kind of going sideways right now. But if you do this on longer time frames, it's the same thing. So, this is a 6 hour instead of an hour. So, the longer you go in time frames, the less, you don't have to look at charts. If you're finding this in the charts, then you don't have to be constantly looking at the charts. So it's a downtrend right here. So you could have come in from here to here and be in profit because it's a downtrend. And then you focus on all the moments where it is dark red, which is right here. So this is like 18 hours of it going down here to here. So that's profit right there. And then right about here, you see it again. You can scalp that as well. And this is a 6 hour, so this is 1 day. It's almost 2 days, and this is massive profits here. So this strategy, in my opinion, is very, very effective. If you guys want me to start talking about it more, I think I'll go over this strategy again, specifically for specific assets. So anyway, other than that, if you guys like this video, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you.